Today's the day that I got my results from 23andMe. I sent away to 23andMe to find out if I had the gene for Alzheimer's. I know a lot of people send to 23andMe to find out about their ancestry. And I found that out too, although it took me hours before I even remembered to look for that. I mostly just wanted to know, do I have the gene that makes me more likely to develop Alzheimer's? Because my father developed Alzheimer's, and it was so hard to watch him suffer and to watch my brother and sister-in-law suffer so greatly in caring for him. My father was an amazing person. His mother also had Alzheimer's. And so in my spirit, I just thought I probably have that gene, but I need to know. Because if I do, I know that doesn't mean that absolutely I'm going to get Alzheimer's. It just means it's more likely. And I don't know why I needed to confirm it. Some people probably would have done the opposite, would never have sent away to find out. They wouldn't have wanted to know. I guess everybody's different in that way. But today I got the email from 23andMe, and just willy-nilly, I'm at work and I just opened it up as if I could read it there at work and not be profoundly affected. Because of course I have it. My father and I are so much alike. I look like him. I laugh like him. I think like him in many ways. We were different too, of course, but people throughout my life who knew both of us would often say that I reminded them of him. So it would not be unexpected that I would have this gene, since he did. After I got done with the wailing and crying, I wanted to record this moment because I want you to know that I'm in that place now that says, "Ain't it fine today?" Do you know that poem? Bless my sister for sharing this poem with me. It used to hang on the wall in our home when I was a little kid. My parents had it framed. It was by Douglas Mallock, if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly. And it's "Ain't It Fine Today?" I have to share it with you. Sure, the world is full of trouble. I ain't said it ain't. Lord, I've had enough and double reason for complaint. Rain and storm have come to fret me. Skies are often gray. Thorns and brambles have beset me on the road, but say, ain't it fine today? What's the use of always weepin', making trouble last? What's the use of always keepin', thinking of the past? Each must have his tribulation, water with his wine. Life, it ain't no celebration. Trouble, I've had mine. But today is fine. It's today that I am livin', not a month ago, havin', losin', takin', givin', as time wills it so. Yesterday a cloud of sorrow fell across the way. It may rain again tomorrow, it may rain, but say, ain't it fine today? My dad would read that poem, sometimes with great enthusiasm. And I read it now. Because the one thing that knowing I am more likely to develop this horrible disease gives me is more clarity about how I need to live each day with purpose and joy. I may die in a car accident. next year. I may get cancer in 5 years, and none of this Alzheimer's gene will be relevant in the slightest. But I am not going to worry every day between now and the day if I'm lucky enough to turn 75 or 80, that I'm not going to, every time I forget the name of something, think, well, here it comes. But I am going to prepare so that my family never has to go through what my family went through with my father. He didn't do that to us on purpose, I know. He just didn't think about it. My mother took care of him in the beginning, and before he knew it, it was so bad that it sort of taken over his frame of mind, and he denied it was even there. He just didn't believe it was really happening. He had been a lawyer. His mind was so keen that I just don't think he really accepted that it was happening. Well, I will accept that it's happening if it does, and I will prepare so that my family never has to go through anything like that. I don't want them to ever have to care for me in those intimate ways and be, pained by that. Never. I will prepare in advance. But between now and then, if then ever comes, there will be a lot of Ain't It Fine Today going on. A lot of Ain't It Fine Today. And maybe that's the gift that this 23andMe gave me. It gave me the gift of get off your butt, Manda. What are you waiting for? Taking all these long 2-hour naps in the afternoon. What's that about? When you could be helping your kids with their homework or working on a project or just going to a movie with your husband or just hanging out. I don't think hanging out is a waste of time, not if it's with your loved ones. Ain't it fine today? Oh, by the way, do you want to know what my ethnicity is? I think that's so funny that when I actually got the report, it took me hours before I actually remembered to go look at my ancestry composition. After hours, I thought, I guess I better go find out. I am, let me see. I am 54.8% British and Irish. Oh, am I now? A lot of that I think it's from the United Kingdom, so a lot of that I think is the Scottish of my dad. That's where we have the Dixon plaids and all of that. I am 16.9% French and German. I did not know that. I am 1.4% Scandinavian, 18.7% broadly Northwestern European, 2.3% broadly Southern European. And you know what's so interesting? I really thought this was so curious, is that I've got African in my DNA. And I just thought that was fascinating to have African in my DNA. Don't you love that? Trace ancestries. I've got African, broadly West African, Southern East African, Nigerian in my DNA. I love that. I just think that's fascinating. Anyway, you probably don't have any interest in that. A lot of the things that 23andMe told me about my health, I don't know if everyone would want to know. They tell you all these things about whether or not you carry the gene for a number of different things. And I thought to myself, if I knew that before I had children, wow, what if I had carried the gene for various maladies before I had children? Would it have kept me from having children? This knowledge is something that I think young people ought to think twice about. That knowledge is so powerful, important, yes, but powerful. Do you see what I'm saying about that? I don't know. I'm lucky in that I don't have to go there since there are no more children in my future, but If you knew that, if you saw that, I suppose that would affect the decisions that you made. And maybe that's just a good thing, but I don't know. How do you feel about that? So thank you for letting me share this with you on this day that started off like any other day, went to a very dark place, and now is in a pretty good place. Ain't it fine today? I'll see you tomorrow.